Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi gets traditional welcome on his arrival in Bratislava to meet with Slovakia's President Peter Pellegrini and Prime Minister Fico. First ever visit by an Indian Prime Minister since Slovakia's independence. US and Iran agree to peace deal and an immediate and permanent end to military operations on all fronts, including Lebanon. Official signing ceremony set to take place on Friday in Geneva. Global leaders welcome US-Iran deal. E4 nations, including the UK, France, Germany and Italy, prepare to lift Iran's sanctions in response to steps on its nuclear program. UN chief hails US-Iran agreement as critical step. And in sports, Indian women's cricket team opened their ICC Women's T20 World Cup campaign with an emphatic 64-run victory over arch rivals Pakistan in Edgbaston. Prime Minister Narendra Modi received a warm and traditional welcome as he arrived in Slovakia from France. Prime Minister Modi was welcomed in Bratislava on Sunday with a rendition of the national song Vande Mataram by the renewed Lyudnika Ensemble and an enthusiastic reception from members of the Indian diaspora during his historic visit to the European nation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also witnessed a spiritual performance by Slovak musical group Mahadev Kirtan project. Now, this is the first ever visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Slovakia since the country's independence in 1993, underscoring the growing partnership between the two nations. Prime Minister will hold talks with Prime Minister Fico and also explore new avenues of cooperation. He will also meet President Pellegrini. The visit will reaffirm India's commitment towards strengthening its bilateral relationship with Slovakia in various sectors, including trade, investment, and automobile and railway manufacturing. And following his arrival in Bratislava in Slovakia, Prime Minister in a post on X said that his visit to Slovakia is an opportunity to deepen India-Slovakia relations. Prime Minister wrote on X, and I quote him, "Reached Bratislava, this visit provides an opportunity to deepen India-Slovakia relations and explore new avenues of cooperation. Looking forward to productive meetings with President Pellegrini and Prime Minister Fico." Members of the Indian diaspora also gathered to greet Prime Minister Narendra Modi, waving Indian flags and chanting India's national song Vande Mataram. Besides, chants of Modi, Modi also reverberated in the air in Bratislava. Cheers, smiles and tricolour waving. Prime Minister Narendra Modi received a resounding reception on his arrival in Bratislava. DD India's correspondent Vishal Baristo gets us more.
With tricolors in their hands and smile on their faces, you can see these youngsters are so very excited, and why not? Because they have met their Prime Minister. How is the feeling?
It is super. We are very proud that our PM Modi is over here. I'm very, very happy today.
Thank you, Modi ji, for coming here and visiting us. It is a thrilling experience. Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you so much.
Did you have the opportunity to shake hands with him?
Of my life. It was so exciting. Very thankful for the opportunity.
They are not the only ones, as you can see. All these people, they are here. How did you feel?
I'm very lucky and very proud, and I'm proud Indian. I love Modi ji. I love everything about India.
आज हम लोगों को सबको हम लोगों का पास मोदी जी को देख कर हम लोग बहुत खुशी हुआ, बहुत आनंद हुआ हम लोगों को। मोदी जी बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं।
It was amazing meeting Modi. Everybody is so happy. It's like a festival today.
Yes.
It's a festival today. As you can see, all these people, they're carrying flags in their hands. They are so very happy, and why not? This is the first time that a sitting Prime Minister has visited Slovakia. So how's the feeling?
It was really great that our Prime Minister visited Indian Prime Minister first time, and I hope that two countries will have a great relationship, and this visit will be effective for people who are living here and for both the countries.
I'm overwhelmed with his personality, and I feel the relationship between the Bratislava, Slovakia and India will grow up healthy and very healthy.
Very, very happy to see him, and I hope that our bilateral relationship improves after his visit. Many Indians, they will know about Slovakia, and Slovak also will know more about India, Indian culture, places to visit, and also Indian people can come and visit Slovakia. It's a really, really beautiful country, so people can know more about it and they can visit this beautiful country which is called Slovakia. Thank you.
So there you hear all these people, they are so very happy, excited, and they are saying that this is their lifetime opportunity, because for them, Prime Minister came all the way from Delhi to Bratislava to meet them and also put forward India's views not only to Slovakia but also to the world through European Union. With cameraman Vinay in Bratislava, this is Vishal Baristo for DD India.
DD India's Vishal Baristo also spoke to members of Mahadev Kirtan project band who presented their performance to Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Reciting the mantras, these youngsters are from Bratislava and they have a band called Mahadev Kirtan Project, and they have played before the Prime Minister. Let's talk to them and find out. The lead drummer is Bharat, so let's talk to him and find out how did it feel when you played before the Prime Minister.
It's such an honor to play for him, yeah, and that's why we are very thankful of Slovak Embassy, Slovak Indian Embassy here in Bratislava, that they invited us to here to play for him.
How was the feeling when you saw Prime Minister of India and you were playing before him?
Namaskaram. We are very honored to be here and play for him. So it's very nice experience. And it's nice to bring mantra Asatoma to Prime Minister and all of us.
How was the experience?
It was a great honor to perform our authentic interpretation of mantras and a kirtan form for the Prime Minister Modi. We're honored. It was great to show our roots, Slovakian roots, in this Indian form and perform it here tonight.
Talking about Indian culture, what do you like the most as far as Indian culture is concerned?
I would have to say Indian music and yoga in general. I also love the nature in India, to be honest, but I think the music and the kirtan forms is something that's closest to me and closest to all of us. So that's something I'm very grateful for, that we get to do this here, even in the heart of Europe, in Slovakia, and have this spice of India here with us.
So there you hear from these people, and they are also very happy. They love Indian culture, and yes, they also love the opportunity to play before the Indian Prime Minister. With cameraman Vinay in Bratislava, this is Vishal Baristo for DD India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday held bilateral talks with French President Emmanuel Macron in Nice, where they reviewed the progress in India-France Special Global Strategic Partnership. The leaders discussed areas including innovation, trade and investment, sustainability, security, culture and people-to-people ties. The meeting resulted in several outcomes in areas of innovation and AI, science and space, startups and fintech, trade and infrastructure, mobility and health, among others. The leaders also exchanged views on key international and regional issues.
Prime Minister held bilateral talks with President Macron at the iconic Villa Kerylos. They held their discussions covered the entire range of bilateral relations, including defense, security, space, civil nuclear energy, trade and investment, technology and innovation, culture and education, mobility and people-to-people ties. A key focus of the discussions was also on strengthening and diversifying bilateral ties in the fields of economic growth, technology and innovation. This is especially relevant in view of the conclusion of negotiations earlier this year on the India-EU Free Trade Agreement.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meeting with French President Macron resulted in several outcomes. The outcomes include the adoption of the India-France Innovation Roadmap 2030 and the creation of a joint India-France AI working group focused on AI governance. Both sides also agreed to expand UPI services at Paris Airport and Nice, establish a national center of excellence for skilling and aeronautics and allied sectors, and in Kanpur's National Skill Training Institute, and incubate 10 additional Indian startups at Station F in Paris. The two countries further announced new cooperation in digital sciences, railways, trade, economic security, healthcare and space exploration, including collaboration between ISRO and CNES on microgravity research and human spaceflight.
There are a number of outcomes and deliverables from this visit. Let me mention amongst the outcomes the setting up of a high-level mechanism to double bilateral trade within 5 years, the establishment of a dialogue on economic security, the adoption of an innovation roadmap 2030, the signing of as many as 19 agreements between institutions in the innovation ecosystem of both countries, the creation of an India-France joint working group focusing on artificial intelligence and its global governance, a memorandum of understanding on establishing a center of excellence in skilling in aeronautics at the campus of the Indian Institute of Technology in Kanpur, a declaration of intent on cooperation in the railways sector, and other areas.
Bharat Innovates 2026 kick-started in France's Nice, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi said innovation is part of India's DNA and is focused on inclusivity, human-centric development and the global good. And French President Emmanuel Macron said that India is helping shape the direction of global innovation.
Bharat Innovates is an invitation to the world to co-create the next chapter of global innovation with India.
India's innovation story took center stage in Nice as Prime Minister Narendra Modi and French President Emmanuel Macron jointly inaugurated Bharat Innovates 2026. Addressing a gathering of innovators, entrepreneurs and global industry leaders, Prime Minister Modi said India is a driving force in global innovation. PM said the initiative will strengthen partnerships and accelerate the next phase of technological advancement.
Bharat Innovates का ये मंच भारत के टैलेंट और यूरोपियन कैपिटल के बीच एक ब्रिज बन रहा है, एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म जहां भारत के यंग माइंड्स को यूरोपियन एक्सपर्टीज से जुड़ने का अवसर मिल रहा है। एक ऐसा भारत जो सॉल्यूशंस का कंज्यूमर नहीं, सॉल्यूशंस का कंट्रीब्यूटर बनकर के उभरा है।
A total of 120 startups are taking part in the event, representing some of India's most promising ventures. Prime Minister noted that while these are select startups, India today is home to nearly 2 lakh startups, making it the world's third largest startup ecosystem. PM highlighted France as an important partner in India's innovation journey and emphasized that global good remains the guiding principle of Indian innovation.
Innovation और इंक्लूजन एक दूसरे के विरोधी नहीं है, बल्कि पूरक है। इसका मतलब है किसी भी इनोवेशन की महानता केवल उसके वैल्यूएशन में नहीं होती, उसकी महानता उसके ह्यूमन इम्पैक्ट में होती है। यही भारत इनोवेट्स की भावना है, यही भारत का दृष्टिकोण है। इनोवेशन is in India's DNA.
Prime Minister Modi met with CEOs, managing directors and investors from leading companies working in sectors such as AI, quantum technology, deep tech, finance, defense, tourism, healthcare and biotechnology. Prime Minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to continuing the reform agenda that has been underway over the past 12 years, ensuring a conducive environment for innovation and business growth. French President Emmanuel Macron praised Prime Minister Modi's leadership and long tenure in office. He said that India is not only a vast pool of talented young people, but has also emerged as a nation capable of providing direction and solutions to the world.
The question was not if India is innovating, but who is going to innovate with India. And it is an immense honor that you're giving us to showcase your best startups, the best innovators outside of India, to deliver the best partnerships and to look for VCs and persuade some talents to join them.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi said innovation must be human-centric and work for the global good. PM expressed confidence that India's innovation ecosystem, from patents and incubation to startups and policy support, is driving a sustainable future.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Nice, France was a special one. On the one hand, Bharat Innovates opened a gateway for Indian deep tech startups to forge new partnerships across the world. On the other hand, the two leaders, Prime Minister Modi and President Macron, committed themselves to take the strategic ties to new heights. With camera person Aniket Dubey, Shubhendu Ghosh for DD India, Nice.
You're watching DD India Live. We're heading for a short break. Stay with us.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live. Let's get you more international updates. The United States and Iran have reached a peace agreement after intensive negotiations on Sunday, with both sides committing to an immediate and permanent halt to military operations across all fronts, including Lebanon. US President Donald Trump confirmed the deal, describing the agreement a major step towards stability in the region. Trump said the deal would ensure uninterrupted access through the Strait of Hormuz. He also argued that despite objections from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, the agreement had projected Israel from a potentially catastrophic outcome. The draft includes the complete lifting of the US naval blockade within 30 days and the suspension of sanctions on Iranian oil and petrochemical sales. The document also calls for an immediate and permanent halt to the war on all fronts, including Lebanon. Under the proposed framework, the Strait of Hormuz would reopen within 30 days under arrangements managed by Iran. The Memorandum of Understanding is scheduled to be officially signed on Friday in Switzerland. Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Qasem Gharibabadi said that a more expansive agreement would be negotiated during the 60-day ceasefire period, including sanctions relief for Iran. In a statement, the Secretariat of Iran's Supreme National Security Council said that war and military operations on all fronts, including Lebanon, would end permanently starting on Monday night. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has deferred with Trump over American demands. Israel has said that it will retain freedom of operations in Lebanon, while Iran has made a full ceasefire there an important component of its demands. Leaders across the world welcomed the agreement between Iran and the United States, expressing support for the ceasefire and the negotiations expected to follow. The strongest endorsements came from regional mediators and European governments. Qatar's Prime Minister welcomed the Memorandum of Understanding and voiced support for the next phase of negotiations. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres congratulated both sides for reaching the peace deal, while thanking Qatar, Pakistan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Turkey and other regional countries for helping facilitate the agreement. Guterres referred to the deal as a critical step towards the peaceful settlement of the conflict. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer also welcomed the deal, saying London stood ready to support the technical negotiations that will now begin. Reiterating Britain's long-standing position, Starmer said that Iran must never acquire a nuclear weapon. Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi also welcomed the announcement by the United States and Iran, expressing hope that free and safe navigation through the Strait of Hormuz will be ensured in practice. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese also welcomed the agreement and said that the continued restraint and constructive engagement will be essential to prevent further escalation and secure a lasting agreement. New Zealand Foreign Minister Winston Peters said the constructive deal is a step towards reducing tensions and promoting stability in a region that is critical to global economic security. E4 nations, including the United Kingdom, France, Germany and Italy, said on Sunday that the countries were prepared to lift sanctions on Iran in response to steps on its nuclear program after the US and Iran reached a deal to end their war. Welcoming the peace deal, the E4 nations in a joint statement said that this is a moment of opportunity to restore regional stability and stabilize the global economy. The leaders of E4 nations said they were prepared to lift relevant sanctions in response to clear, verifiable steps by Iran on its nuclear program. The statement further reads, I quote, Iran must never acquire a nuclear weapon. We stand ready to work with the US, Iran and the IAEA to this end. The leaders also reaffirmed their full support to stability, sovereignty and territorial integrity of Lebanon and the importance of a robust ceasefire. Oil prices plunged more than 4% on Monday after the United States and Iran reached an agreement to end the West Asia war. West Texas Intermediate was down 4.39% at $81.15 a barrel in Tokyo, after mediator Pakistan said the United States and Iran agreed to a peace deal and an immediate and permanent end to military operations on all fronts, including Lebanon. Japan's Nikkei jumped by 3% and South Korea's Kospi up 4% after US-Iran peace deal. The sudden diplomatic breakthrough triggered a massive relief rally across Asian markets, which had previously been highly volatile due to escalating West Asia tensions. The US dollar fell 0.31% to 99.492 on Monday. That is a 10-day low against its major peers, as the United States had agreed to a peace deal with Iran, sent oil prices tumbling and boosted demand for riskier assets. Let's talk of sports now. All-rounder Deepti Sharma delivered a masterclass spell, picking up a 5-wicket haul as well as a successful run-out effort as Team India opened their Women's World Cup campaign with a clinical 64-run victory over arch-rivals Pakistan on Sunday at Birmingham. Vice-captain Smriti Mandhana looked in great form, scoring 68 runs, while skipper Harmanpreet Kaur struck 35 of 35. Richa Ghosh's brisk 17-ball 34 helped the women in blue score 170 for 6 in 20 overs. For Pakistan, Muniba Ali offered the lone resistance, scoring 41 of 35 balls and anchoring the innings to some extent. The rest of the batting lineup faltered as they were eventually bundled out for 106 in the 17th over. That's it in this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.